1930s were a particularly fertile decade for horror, not just in the universal monster side of things, but there was also a little subsection of horror that was being explored based off of the legendary writings of Edgar Allan Poe. I have a Poe book on this bookshelf back there. It's the blue book there. But today I'm going to be talking about one of the better adaptations of his work, The Raven, starring Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. They did several of these movies together. Now, while this is a very loose interpretation of The Raven from Edgar Allan Poe, it's more used as a backdrop for Bela Lugosi to turn in a very disturbing performance as a neuroscientist who becomes infatuated with a judge's daughter, so much so that after saving her life, he basically wants to get married with her, but the judge refuses. And so basically pulling a jigsaw, he creates a torture room and lures the girl and her fiancé into it and basically intends to torture them. All with the help of a petty criminal whose face he has completely just destroyed, played by Boris Karloff. Because Bela Lugosi was such an eloquent speaker, his demeanor and his general just calmness over how depraved he truly is just shines like a diamond here. The movie is very effective in its limited runtime. This movie is an hour and 1 minute long, 61 minutes long. That would never happen today. Minimum at most for movies would be 90 minutes. Most Saw movies are longer than this movie. However, it basically conveys what is so effective about the Saw movies, but in just a shorter time span. Bela Lugosi's character becomes obsessed, and he just does not let go. He's willing to do anything to get what he wants. Boris Karloff maximizes his minutes as this criminal. He's not in the movie very much, and at a certain point when he does become disfigured, he pretty much is limited to just doing and Frankenstein mannerisms. Not to say that he's bad at this. Far from it. He's quite good. But again, I cannot stress enough, Boris Karloff was actually quite good at speaking and having very meaty roles. It's just for a while, once he was Frankenstein, he was pretty much typecast. And so was Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi is another one that people just know him as Dracula, but he did so much in his time that he's the best Dracula, let's not get that twisted, but he was so good at other things too. And that's why I picked this movie to review, because as we leave the 30s and enter the 40s, it became just about Dracula and Frankenstein going forward because that was the money. However, there are these little gems involving the men who played Dracula and Frankenstein, and they're both great. They hit it out of the park every time. So do yourself a favor, hunt down The Raven and watch it. It's only an hour and 1 minute long. There are TV show episodes that are longer than this movie. So do yourself a favor and find it and watch it. It's really good.